Okay. Obviously, you're up here, so we're not over at your house. So there's some preliminary stuff I'll have to do. Because I'm up here and I'm asking you questions and I'm doing an investigation on homicide, I'm going to have to give you your rights. Okay. Today's date, 3/31/09. Time right now I have is 8:58 hours. I know we talked the other day. I kind of was in a rush because I was trying to get over to talk to Larry. So I didn't get a chance to get a recorded statement from you. This is going to be that recorded statement.
Okay.
You're going to have a lot of the same questions I asked you the other day. Obviously, the new part would be...
This man didn't end up here because of a mistake or an accident. Scott Thompson walked into this room on his own, by following the path of his own decisions. The calm he wore outside didn't survive the moment the door closed. Because Scott knows, today isn't about anyone else. Today the questions will stop, right at the place he's always been afraid to face.
Her wallet and stuff about that wallet. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present while being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer will be appointed for you without cost before questioning. If you wish to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Okay. You understand each of those rights? This basically is the form, and those are the questions I just read for you. What I'd like you to do is initial by each one, and then right here where it's signed, and then I'll witness it. I'll tell you what, when we go for questions before we start. Go ahead. Okay, I'll witness this. Okay. I'll start writing this down, and I think I did that. Well, I may have just did it off the top of my head the other day. Okay, what was the last time you saw Cheryl Kane?
Friday.
And you're talking about Friday of the week before last, because I was with you Friday. And she was found dead on Wednesday, so the week before.
Yeah.
So, let's see, the 25th was Wednesday, 24th, 23rd, 22nd, 21st, 20th. So you're talking about Friday the 20th of March. That was the last time?
Yeah.
That was the last time you saw her physically?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and where were you at?
I was at my house.
Oh, right there on 9.5 Mile? Okay. I mean, on 9 Mile?
9 Mile.
Or your parents' house?
No, 9 Mile.
Okay, so she came by your little house there on 9 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
What was the circumstances?
She had gave me some money a couple of days before. I was supposed to be find her some smoke, and just didn't round anything up, and she came back by to get her money.
Now by smoke you mean marijuana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it was $30?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you didn't have any luck finding her any weed, so you gave her the $30 back.
Yes, sir.
Was anybody with her when she came by?
No, sir.
Okay. So she's by herself. What was she driving?
Her white car.
Okay. Okay. So she comes along in a white car, and you get the money back to her.
Mm-hmm.
How long is she over there?
Not long, maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, 2 or 3 minutes, and you
Just
remember what time of the day?
And, it was about 5:30.
And you knew that, because you were already off
Just
work?
getting off work.
So you had just gotten off work, gone home. She called you beforehand, set it up, or she just show up?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So she called first.
Yeah.
And this occurred around 5 p.m., 5:30?
5:30.
Around 5:30 p.m. on the 20th. Okay. When was the last time you actually spoke to her or communicated with her not in person?
Monday.
Monday. Okay. So Monday would be the 21st. Okay. 22nd?
22nd.
Something like that. Okay. So that Monday prior to her death, how did you speak to her then?
On the phone.
Okay. So she called you or you called her?
I called her.
Okay. So Scott called Cheryl. And what did you call her about?
Talked to Larry before that, and he was saying that he owed her some methadone from like a couple weeks ago. I guess they used to kind of, swap back, when he didn't have none, she would give him some, and then when he went, he'd give her some.
Right.
And I was just asking if he'd paid her that back, and basically told her that, I could look for her something if she needed to. And
so all of y'all go to the methadone clinic?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know I asked you this the other day. What are the days you go to the methadone clinic?
Monday and Thursday.
All of y'all go to the methadone clinic?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know I asked you this the other day. What are the days you go to the methadone clinic?
Monday and Thursday.
Okay, so you called her and said you could hook her up, I guess because you've been to the meth clinic that
No, I was talking about like finding her some marijuana.
Okay, all right.
And she said that she didn't need like a quarter or nothing this time. She just wanted something real small, like a little nickel or something like that.
Okay.
And
will you make a little profit off that or something? Or you get a little smoke off of it?
Not really. I kind of quit smoking, but
okay.
Just, I mean.
But you're close enough friends with her that you hook her up that way?
The only time I really hear from her or talk to her is if she wants something. I mean,
right.
We don't really have like that relationship, like hang out all the time and,
right.
Buddy. I mean, she used to come over when Larry lived with me, she would stay some and kind of told him, she'd stay over, like stay the night sometime. And I told her Derek really didn't, he really didn't even like me having a roommate to begin with and then the extra people, so. But I mean, besides that, when she would come over, I mean, we really didn't, we didn't go out to the club together. Remember you asked me if we had a relationship, but right. I mean, no.
Okay.
No relationship.
So Monday, you call her and say, hey, I can hook you up with some weed? Is that the basics of it?
Somebody fixing to get some.
Okay. And did she take you up on that offer?
She said she just wanted something small.
Okay.
So I was like, do you think he would do, like a nickel? I said, let me call and check.
Okay. Did you call and check?
Yeah.
And was he going to do a nickel?
He was, but it's just waiting to get it.
Okay. And so what was the arrangement from that point? Did you call her back?
Call her back and let her know. And
how long was that conversation?
Maybe like a minute. Couple minutes.
You remember about what time of day this was?
I think it was about 5:30, right after work.
Okay, so around 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay. And then what happens?
Let's see, I called her. She told me that, called my buddy, called her back, said it was going to be a little bit, and she said she was finishing eating supper, and that, I don't know the guy's name, but she said she was going to try to go get some Xanax or something like that. And
okay.
She said that she, I think I talked to her that time, might have been about 3 minutes when I called back, and she said she was going to go have a beer and hang out for a while. And she said, I guess she's talking to some guy, Tommy or something, and she said that Tommy had told her that he loved her or something, and it kind of made her feel weird or something. Said she was kind of weird that she had just met him and he was telling he loved her. Okay. And she said she was going to have a couple beers.
She said where she was going?
No.
Okay. Was she with anybody that you could tell?
No.
Okay. And, okay, so did you eventually get the weed?
No.
Okay. Did he call you back and say he couldn't get it or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's this you're talking to? I realize you don't want to give up your drug source, but this is a little bit different kind of situation. I need to know who he is so I can confirm who it is. I want to have his phone number or your phone record. So, what's his name?
Adam.
Adam what?
Poust.
Adam Poust?
Mm-hmm.
You know how to spell that?
Poust.
Okay. So you've made several phone calls between Adam and Cheryl, trying to arrange a little bit of weed going back and forth, right? What's the number to Poust?
Let's see. 516-8109.
Okay.
He said he could do, like, he could probably do a nickel. He didn't have that much right now, but, he'd be getting some more probably later. And I just, I really didn't want to mess with it. Just something small.
Okay.
Not that I'm really into it for profit, but,
Right.
$5 here and there.
Okay. So, how many phone calls go between you and Cheryl that time? Do you remember?
Maybe 3.
Okay. So maybe 3 calls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you never see her? What time was the last call?
Maybe 7.
Right, it's around 7 p.m. Okay. And when was the last time with Adam?
I think I called Adam once.
After that?
When I called him to see, if he would do something small, he said he didn't have none right then, but maybe later. But I really didn't even call him back after that. Just
so one phone call.
One phone call.
Well, what did you take it to be later as going to be?
I mean, like later on.
Later in the night? Later that same night?
Later.
And you didn't call him again?
No.
And wasn't she kind of expecting you to get some weed for her?
It's just kind of, she only wanted like a nickel, and she would call me, a lot of times, and I just wouldn't call back, or she'd call and I wouldn't answer, or just not really wanting to mess with it, but.
And that's the last time you talked to her?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And she never came over that night?
No, sir.
And she never talked to you on the phone again after that?
No, sir.
Okay. And of course, yesterday I get over to your house because I get a call from the family saying Larry Spears has called them saying that he was over at your house and had found Cheryl's wallet in your room,
yes, sir,
under your bed. And when I went over there and talked to you, you said that's where you placed it. Is that right?
Under the mattress.
Under the mattress, right. Well, under your bed, under the mattress, sorry. Yeah, between the box spring and the mattress.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When I got there, Larry set the wallet on my car, and I collected it from him. And you were standing there when I did that, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You told me at that time that you had set it there for safekeeping, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you find that wallet?
Thursday, Thursday or Friday. I'm trying to think when did you come over?
I came over to your house by Friday. Yeah, that Friday I came by.
Friday. It was Saturday.
Okay.
Next day.
So you found the wallet on Saturday. Did you work that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you find it before you went to work, after you went to work?
After.
Okay. So you found it the evening time. You remember what was the circumstances? Tell me how you found it.
I was packing up the rest of Larry's stuff. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, he'd already got his bed and some of his clothes. He left a basket and stuff in the dresser. And I mean, I was packing the rest of his stuff, putting it out there on the little sunroom.
Okay.
And I mean, just packing up everything. And then I saw that. And I think the only thing else there was like a hair clip.
Now, exactly where was it?
It was in the dresser.
In the dresser.
Yeah.
Now, when we came by there the other day, you said me and James Newton could walk through your house with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked through your house, and I did see the little room that's across from yours.
Scott isn't silent, and he isn't afraid to speak. The real issue is that his story doesn't move in a straight line. As soon as the questions circle, the moment where he took a wrong turn, his body reacts on its own. This is the point where the mind slips first, and the words follow after.
That he had sat in there. I looked in the room, and I really didn't see anything as far as furniture-wise in there. Where was this dresser sitting?
That dresser?
Yeah. You said the dresser?
Mm-hmm.
Where was it sitting? I don't recall it, my memory.
Up against the wall.
Okay. When you look in the room, which wall?
Over to the right.
Over to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a dresser over here to the right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how tall was it?
Short, not like that.
Did you move that dresser out on the porch as well?
No, I moved it.
Okay. So when I came back over there yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and you gave me that written consent to go through your house, and we walked through the house, was that dresser still in there?
No.
Okay. Where was it moved to?
Ended up giving it to some Fowlers, the Tasha, and they drove by when we were out there yesterday.
Okay.
They drove by and they were in that Jeep Cherokee.
The people that were talking, they said, mentioning Larry, they were there to see Larry.
Maybe because they saw Larry there first, but I mean,
Okay. All right. You gave it to them?
yeah.
Okay.
And a lamp.
When did you give that to them?
I think that day, Saturday.
Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
So they came over at night? You got that?
Mm-hmm.
And who were these people?
Pam and Tasha Fowler. They live not far, like
Pam and what Fowler?
Tasha.
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 And their last name is Fowler?
Fowler.
Like the street.
Yes, sir.
You got a phone number for them?
Mom's kind of weird. She's got the two sisters and the brother. And they're kind of, I wouldn't say troublemakers, but they're always looking for free stuff and, going to the pawn shops. I mean, not the pawn shops, but the flea market and stuff. And, what would I have it under? Dale. Fowler, that's right. They just got a new phone, and I'm not supposed to call it, but I'll give you the number here. It's 637 1446. 637 1446.
Okay. Now, when you found this wallet, did you go through it?
I just unzipped it and seen that it was her ID.
Did you think that was important?
I thought it was just something that would need to hold on to.
Okay, so when I came over and I talked to you on Friday, and I said that I was, investigating the death of Cheryl,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was looking to talk to Larry, and could you assist me in contacting Larry and all that?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think that finding the wallet in Larry's old bedroom was of importance?
I really didn't think of it at the time, like putting two and two together, like, that was her wallet. I just, because she's had stuff there before, and, it really didn't click, like, oh, that was her wallet. I figured it, might have been like an old wallet or.
Okay. But you saw her driver's license in it and all that? Okay. She got her driver's license and all that stuff in there, and you didn't think it was important? Okay. And then for safekeeping, instead of calling me, you put it under your bed?
I just stuck it under my mattress. I didn't put it out with this stuff. I knew I was going. I figured you'd be calling the next day or the day after.
Okay. And so, you never saw Cheryl again and never talked to her again after that Monday?
No.
Okay. Where were you Monday night?
I got off work, got in the shower, went to my parents and ate supper.
Okay.
Been eating over there lately. Just
Okay. But you, what time do you get off work?
about 5:30.
Okay. You told me you were making those phone calls to Cheryl at 5:30. Are you over at your parents' house making these phone calls about drugs, or are you at your house?
No, I was at my house.
Okay. So
Getting in the shower.
you said 5:30 or 6. So when are you eating?
About 7, 6.
About 7. Okay. So you went home, didn't take a shower at your house, right? You took a shower at your parents'?
No, took a shower at my house.
Okay. So you take a shower at your house, make these phone calls, and you said you did phone calls up to about 7 p.m. And then I guess you go to your parents' house. And your parents will confirm that you had dinner with them that night.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had dinner at your parents' house. With your parents?
Yeah.
Who all was there?
My mom, my dad, my sister, my niece.
You had dinner around 7 o'clock? Remember what you ate?
I think we had Aunt Laura's casserole.
Is that your sister?
No.
Who's Aunt Laura? An aunt?
Yeah, it's my mom's.
What do you call it? Is that her recipe, or does she come over and make it?
No, it's
Okay,
her
it's her recipe.
type thing.
Okay. So you had dinner over at your parents' house, and then what'd you do?
Just went back to the house.
Okay. Go anywhere after that?
No.
Okay. So you were home for the rest of the night.
Yes.
Did you stop from going to your parents' house back to your apartment at all?
No.
Okay. So it's straight shot to your parents, straight shot back. What time do you think you got back to your apartment?
8:30, 8:30.
Okay. And then what do you do? Just hang out there all night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually go to bed by
Did you work Tuesday?
Tuesday.
The next day?
No.
You were off?
Yeah.
Is that a normal day off for you?
No. I just was fixing to be going to court. And, I mean, not to court, but to probation and that warrant thing. And was it Tuesday? Tuesday, I ended up turning myself in on that warrant.
Okay. What time Tuesday did you turn yourself in?
Maybe 4:35. Was at my parents' pretty much all day. Dad went golfing and then went out in the morning.
So that morning you go over to your parents' house. Remember what time it was you went over there?
It was fairly early. 8:30. My dad had already left for going golfing.
So you get over there about 8:30 in the morning. Who's home when you get over there?
My mom.
Okay. Anybody else home?
No.
Okay. And what do you do when you get there?
Just hang out, watch TV.
Did you stay there pretty much all day?
Yeah.
Did you go anywhere?
No,
Okay.
not really.
Did you,
My dad got off from golfing probably 1 o'clock.
okay.
And that's when we were calling, trying to check about the warrant and all that.
Okay. And you had planned to take off, or did you call in that morning?
No, I planned.
Okay. So it was a known day off. You were going to be off on Tuesday.
Yeah. I thought I was going to take the whole, like the rest of the week off.
Okay, let me ask you this. You're going to be turning yourself in on Tuesday, right? For the warrant.
No, I've already turned myself. Oh, you're talking about
that Tuesday, right? And so Monday night you're at home, and pretty much the next day you're turning yourself in, right?
I didn't know it was going to be Tuesday.
Okay.
I knew it was going to be that week.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be more like,
Why did you take Tuesday off?
just because I thought I was going to be in jail for like on a no bond until my court date.
Okay.
And that's when.
Did you have Wednesday off too?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have Thursday off?
No, I went back to work Thursday.
Okay. And you worked Monday?
Monday? No, I don't think I did work Monday.
You told me on Monday you got home about 5:30.
What's that?
Mm-hmm. You went to the clinic that morning though.
Yeah, I went to the clinic.
Did you work?
Trying to think. This was just Monday.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. I was taking all that week. Yeah, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was off.
Okay.
So, Saturday was the last day I worked.
Okay. So you were off Sunday, you're off Monday, you're off Tuesday, you're off Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. And you plan on taking care of your court stuff that week?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't do it Monday?
No.
Okay. So Monday night you're home. So you figure you got Tuesday and Wednesday to take care of it. You know you got to wait for first appearance and all that, right? So that's why you were waiting. So you turn yourself in and you thought you'd have no bond, so you'd see the judge the next morning. Is that what you planned on, hoping to get out that then, or what?
Well, just from everybody I talked to, they say when you violate on a technicality, there's a no bond.
Right.
And usually, when you go in for the warrant, you stay there for at least a month till your court date.
Okay.
So, I had planned in my head that,
this was it for a while.
I was probably going to be going for a month.
And you weren't going out partying?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. So your last night possible of freedom for a month, and you weren't going to go out and do anything?
Well, I mean, I didn't know it would be Tuesday. But
right.
My boss man, Henry, Derek's dad, called
right.
down there because I told him, I wanted to take a week off.
Right.
Because, I'd probably be gone for a while. And he's like, well, I know it sounds selfish, but we need your service,
Yeah.
Need you to work, we miss you. And, so Henry called down there, talked to my probation officer, and was like, is there anything we can do? Write a letter to the judge, talk to anybody.
Right.
And that's when she told him, well, all right, this is what's up. They're going to issue a warrant for him today. And go turn himself in, and then he can get out, and then he'll have a month to finish working until his court date.
Okay.
So that's when I found out.
And when did you find that out on?
That was on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. And so you were home all day Tuesday?
At my parents' house.
Okay. Until the time you went and turned yourself in. Mm-hmm. They drive you down there?
I drove down there.
Okay. And you went alone, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
So you plan on leaving your car down there?
Well, no.
Did you know at that point it's an ROR?
She told me, yeah. She told him. Well, Henry didn't tell me. He said, go, call Sonny or Reed or whoever, go down there, turn yourself in, bail out, and get out. Right. And I called Sonny Reed and was like, hey, can you call down there? I figured he could find out faster than me. Can you call down there, see what the bond is? And he didn't call me back. So I called down there.
Right.
And she said it just came through the mail that it was a ROR.
Okay.
And I was like, what's that? They said, no bond, no bail.
Right.
And
just release on recognizances.
Reconnaissances.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you sure? I mean, because, if you're not 100% positive, I'll get a ride or whatever.
Right.
But she said, no, I'm looking at it right here.
Okay.
And that was Tuesday.
Okay.
And then my normal day was off on Wednesday. Wednesdays was my normal day off. And then back at work Thursday.
Okay. And did you think it unusual that Cheryl didn't call you to check back up on that weed?
Well, I called her back Tuesday because I knew I think that was her day. Tuesday when she went to pick up, or Wednesday. One of those days. I called her back Tuesday just to see if she wanted, if everything was all right, if she needed anything or what, but didn't get a hold of her.
Did you leave a voicemail?
I don't think so.
But you did call it?
Yeah.
No answer?
No.
How many times did you call?
Couple times.
Couple times?
Yeah.
So you called a couple times on Tuesday?
Yeah.
From your cell phone?
Yeah, I think I called Wednesday.
Scott wasn't seated here, just because of a vague suspicion. Certain details kept colliding with each other. The times he described didn't match his actions. The places he claimed to be left no trace behind. And then there was the detail, the explanation that went far beyond the question. All of it pointed to one thing. Scott wasn't replaying the past. He was trying to reshape it. And that is what brought him into this chair.
Okay. When did you find out that she was dead? And how?
Troy Brown,
Mm-hmm.
the one that was with Larry that day.
Yep.
He called me,
When?
I think it was Thursday morning, early.
Okay.
I just got to work. I seen the number, I didn't recognize it, and it called a couple times, and it was pouring down rain, and it was wet, and then I finally called it back, and it was him, and he said, did you hear? I was like, what are you talking about? He said, did you hear about that, the person they found? And
Had you heard about that?
yeah, I'd heard about it.
How'd you hear about
it? Through the paper.
it? Okay. You read the paper?
I don't, but Greg did. My boss from work, the other boss, Greg Chambers.
Okay.
And I told him when Troy called Thursday morning and said that he heard it was Cheryl.
Yeah.
We'd heard that there wasn't a name released or whatever. And I told Greg to go try to look it up on the internet. And he looked it up and it was confirmed.
What did you think? You had just talked to her on Monday, right?
Yeah.
What do you think happened to her?
I know her.
Yeah.
It comes to a shock. It's just hard to believe.
What do you think happened to her?
When I first heard, I figured she'd had an overdose or something with Xanax or methadone.
Okay.
It's not a good combination.
Did she say who she was getting her Xanax from?
A lot of friends. I've known a lot of people that passed away from overdoses. And
You know her friend that died over there with Larry, right?
yeah.
What was her name?
Tasha
Thompson.
No relation.
Okay.
I knew Tasha. I knew her brother Randy some from here and there, but yeah, it's just too young, man. Too many people.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Odell. He was friends with Tasha's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. They used to work on the farm together with his dad, the Gibbs, and all them. He died. The little brother of my close friend Sean DeWall and Brian DeWall. His name was Thomas DeWall. He passed away from overdose. And she used to always call him a kid, like I'm going over to get some Xanax from this kid. But he wasn't that young. I don't know why she always called him a kid. But what's his name? He lives I don't know exactly. I've never been over there, but Larry knows. He used to go down there and pick up Xanax too. And I really don't know his name. Larry would know.
Okay.
I'm trying to. It'll come to me in a second. I don't know his last name or his phone number, but I think he lives over off Detroit or in Enfield somewhere, because I know it's out that way. And
Okay.
Larry,
You sit tight for just a second. I gotta use the restroom. Do you need to use the restroom?
No. Gonna get a little sip of water?
Yes,
Is there a water fountain?
Yeah, there's a water fountain right there. Is that your cup or?
No,
I got cups out here, so you probably don't want to use that one. Come on, I'll take it over there and I'll put you back, and then I can go to the bathroom real quick. This way. All right. Water hit the spot. Now you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Right in your car, maybe.
Yeah. this real quick. Okay, just confirmation. By the way, I checked. We were over there Thursday. So do you think you found the wallet in the dresser on Friday or Saturday?
Was it Thursday?
Mm-hmm. We came by Thursday because I talked to Larry Thursday evening. And I left straight from your house over to Larry's. So.
Okay. I think it was Friday.
Okay, so it wasn't Saturday for the dresser, it was Friday.
Yeah.
So I just left there. You're packing up his stuff to put it on the front porch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you find the wallet during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember that kid's name too.
What kid?
The one with the Xanax.
Okay.
He was asking about. I couldn't remember. I don't know his last name, but his first name is Josh.
Josh.
And the other guy that she used to kind of, I don't know if she still talks to him or not, but Jim, I don't know his last name, it's some older guy.
Okay.
But she used to go over there and hang out and, I don't know, kind of like a sugar daddy or something, but he goes to some doctors and stuff, and I don't know his last name either, but I know he lives over in Beulah.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Right.
So the last time you saw her was on that Friday, and she was getting back the $30 that she had fronted you, I guess, to pick her up a little bit of weed. Okay. And now you said that was about 5:30 in the evening. Correct. The last time you spoke to her was on Monday, and you said you had 3 phone calls, somewhere around 5:30, 6, 7 p.m. Right in there.
Yeah.
And you had no more phone call contact with her after that.
Not that day.
Okay. And then you said after the 7 p.m. time, the next time you talk to her is on Tuesday, or you try to call her on Tuesday,
I called her Tuesday.
but you didn't actually get her on the phone.
No.
Okay. So she's not answering her phone on Tuesday, and I think that's pretty consistent with everybody. Nobody's being able to talk to her on Tuesday. So something happened that Monday night, I would guess. And you said the last time you talked to her was 7 p.m. Okay. And you said how many phone calls did you make to her?
I think 3.
3? Okay. And that seems to be adding up for the most part. Your cell phone number is 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about 8 and 9 o'clock that night when you talked to her?
Was it that late?
Well, I have those 3 phone calls you talked about earlier. They're all right here in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Just about the times that you said. But then you talked to her for about 8 minutes, about 8:30.
Okay, that's when she called, or I talked to her the last time, when she said that, when she was talking about, what's his name? Tommy.
Well, I don't know, because we've kind of gone over it several times here. And I've asked you about the phone calls and how many number of phone calls and what times they were, and I was pretty specific, and I went back over it again to find out about it. But then we got 3 more phone calls later that night, after the time you said you last talked to her.
3?
So the last time, yeah. Well, the others are for 1 minute, so I don't know if they went through or not, but they're dialed.
Yeah.
You to her, her to you, in 1 8-minute conversation. Okay, you don't
played
remember
phone
that?
tag a couple times.
Well, but I'm pretty specific, and you're saying after 7 o'clock. So what was that last phone call about?
That was about when she told me about Tommy, about saying something like he loved her and it weirded her out, and I told her that, he was supposed to be trying to get some later, and
You don't think that's kind of peculiar?
no.
Let me lay it to you like this, okay? The last person that I can put her talking to that night is you, okay? The last person while she's alive she talks to is you. Okay. The person that's found with her wallet and his house is you, okay? got some explaining to do about that. I need to understand how that is all coming to you. You know, I can tell you, at first I got to look at the boyfriend's hard, okay? But their stories are matching up. They remember phone calls. It's pretty important. You know, it's, you know, if I ask you questions about this, I mean, we realize the importance of this, the urgency. Somebody's dead, okay? Somebody's no longer here with us. Their family wants answers, and everybody wants answers, okay? We've gone over this a number of times today, and I've asked you about the phone calls a couple of times. I asked you specifically. You tell me the last phone call was around 7 p.m., which is right on time. I mean, we got the phone calls. You said the 5:30, the 6, the 7. We got them right there, just like you said.
Well, I mean, I don't.
But it's just the later call. You know, it's an 8-minute conversation later in the night. It's quite a bit difference, okay? Then we have the problem with, you know, the day before I'm over at your house, the day before you find this wallet, I'm over at your house. I'm saying, hey, I need to go. She's dead, and I need to talk to Larry, right? It's important. You help me out. You call him up for me. Put me in contact with Larry. So I leave your house and I head over there. When do you start packing his stuff up?
The next day.
The next day. Would you do it during the morning, evening, what?
It's done midday.
Midday? Okay. And
wait, what day is this? 'Cause
Friday.
I mean, it's like a week ago, and I mean, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I know you tried to confuse me, but
I'm not trying to confuse you. I want to make sure you're very sure. I came by your house Thursday evening.
Thursday.
Okay.
And
you said you gave the dresser to Pam and Tasha Fowler? Okay.
And a lamp.
Okay.
Larry's baker's rack.
Okay. What time? When did you start moving his stuff?
Friday.
Friday. Okay. Remember what time you started? Did it take you a long time? There didn't seem to be much in that room when I glanced in there.
No.
Okay. So what time do you think you started?
1 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Okay. And how long do you think it took you to clear that stuff out of there and get that dresser gone?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. So you called Tasha and Pam up on the phone?
Well, yeah. I mean, they were hanging out with me too.
Oh, were they over there while you were doing all this?
Yeah. Well, not packing all of it, but moving the dresser. And,
okay. Did you call them over there to help you move the dresser?
Well,
since you were going to give it to them?
Seeing if they wanted it.
Okay.
Okay.
When the question becomes direct, Scott stops. That pause isn't about remembering. It's about weighing risk. In that moment, he isn't thinking about what happened. He's deciding what sounds least damaging. And that hesitation quietly exposes his psychology.
Wanted a lamp.
So were they there when you found the wallet? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. Did you find the wallet prior to them getting there?
No. After we took all the stuff out of it.
Right.
Moved it all over on the floor, moved the dresser, and then when I was packing all the stuff up, that's when I found it.
Okay. So you didn't actually realize that was the wallet until after they were gone with the dresser. Didn't you realize it's the wallet?
I mean, it didn't look like a wallet. It was just, I thought it was like a nail case or fingernail clipper holder or something.
Okay.
I remember having like a teal colored wallet for some reason. Like last Friday, like a square, like bluish teal colored wallet.
Okay.
All
right. And so maybe we need to check and see if she reported her wallet missing, right? And if it's got stuff in there, we want to find out if any of that's missing, right? Okay. So you're over there about 1 o'clock, you said, moving this stuff, and you move it from the bedroom mostly to the porch, and then they come over there, you finish clearing out the dresser, and you move the dresser out, and they decide they want it. How did they load it up?
In the back of my car.
Back of your car. So you load it up in your car.
Well,
you take it.
They loaded it for me because they wanted it, and I mean.
Y'all all ride over there together? They have that truck.
No, we rode over together.
Okay.
In my car.
Okay. Did you pick them up?
Yeah.
Too? Okay. So you went and got them, brought them over there, asked them if they wanted to see the dresser, see if they wanted it.
Well, we were hanging out for a while.
Okay.
And then just popped up, hey, do you see anything you'd like?
Right.
Put dibs on.
Okay. Was that your dresser or Larry's dresser?
Right.
Okay. So it was clear for you to give.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So take it over there, get it to their house, they unload it, done for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that was about 1 o'clock.
Well,
probably when you're done 1:30.
It was more like probably 5 or 4:30 when we finished.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you spent a few hours over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we hung out for a while, watched TV.
Okay. Now, I was asking you earlier, your work schedule for that week.
Mm-hmm.
You said you had worked Monday, or didn't? No, you had Monday off. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Mm-hmm.
You worked Thursday?
From Thursday on again.
Okay. So you worked Friday?
Yeah.
So what was your hours on Friday?
8 to 5.
Okay. You just said you were over at your house at 1 o'clock until about 4:30, loading this dresser and moving that furniture. So are you at work, or are you loading the dresser and the furniture?
I think I was a week before I headed in.
Okay. I came over to your house on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You had planned to turn yourself in
That's when I was
on that was same week.
Yeah,
you had taken off.
Wednesday. Yeah, that was
Right.
the Monday, Tuesday.
So you
Wednesday
went to work
off.
Thursday. I come over to your house that afternoon.
Yeah.
You were over at your parents' house. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, do you mind us seeing your apartment that you shared with Larry?
Mm-hmm.
And you rode with us over there. Okay? You put me on the phone with Larry, and I told Larry I'm on my way over there. I interviewed Larry, because it's recorded and all that stuff. And I got the date all written down. I interviewed Larry. Larry Spears on 3/26/09, which is Thursday of last week, at 6:49 in the evening. It took me a little time to get over there. Got the recording right here. The next day is the day you said you moved that furniture, got rid of the dresser.
Wednesday
is the day we find her dead. Thursday's the day I talked to you.
Wednesday is when the first time we moved the baker's rack and stuff.
The baker's rack. What's that?
It's like a tall shelf thing. It's got a little counter thing. I guess you put like bread on. It's got some shelves.
Okay.
Her mom had been wanting that. Larry was supposed to sell it to her or something at one time, and then
Whose mom wanted it?
Tasha and Pam.
Okay, so you're saying you did this moving on Wednesday, not Friday? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, a couple of different times. I mean, she wanted the baker's rack. Wednesday we moved the baker's rack, and she got I think a lamp and a small little 13-inch TV or 14-inch TV. And that's when Tasha was with me. Just Tasha.
Okay, and you're saying this was Wednesday?
That was Wednesday.
Okay.
Because that was the day before I went back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'd already turned myself in.
When was the day that you gave them the dresser?
That was Friday. Friday
Okay.
afternoon.
Friday afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was me, Pam, and Tasha.
Were you at work
Pam
or
and
were you
Tasha.
at home moving
It was after
stuff?
work.
It was after work? Okay.
Wednesdays, that was the day I was off, and it was like around 1. And,
Okay.
And we were hanging out, and we moved the baker's rack, because I remember we put it in the back of my trunk. It was hanging all out wide, and tied it down. And
Today is Tuesday.
today is
Okay.
Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're talking about stuff that happened last week. Last week on Tuesday, you turned yourself in. Okay?
Mhm.
So we're talking about in a span of days of less than a week.
Yeah. That was.
I don't want you confused, and I don't want you to think I'm trying to trick you. That's why I'm
Well,
asking you these questions
I
specifically.
know I'm usually not off work much. You know,
Mhm.
used to working all the time, and
Right.
I just got backwards because I've been at work since Thursday. But yeah, Wednesday we moved the baker's rack. It was just me and Tasha that day.
Is the baker's rack now you're saying?
No.
Okay, so you're confusing the time of Wednesday with Friday. That's what you're saying now.
Yeah. Friday.
So you worked all Friday.
Thursday I started back to work
Mm-hmm.
because Thursday I work, Friday I work. From then on, Saturday, Sunday. But Friday is when we moved that dresser.
Okay, Scott, I don't want you confused. I want you telling me what I'm after here is the truth. Okay? Okay.
man.
Okay.
Maybe
Don't want you confused. I want you telling me the truth. The problem I'm seeing here, and just let me explain to you. The problem I'm seeing here is I'm being very specific with you, and I'm wanting specific answers, and you're giving me specific answers, and then 5-10 minutes later, when we go back to it, and I tell you a new bit of information that shows, hey, you couldn't be telling me the correct information, then you're changing the story. So you've done that now on the wallet.
Scott believed he was guiding the conversation. What he couldn't control was his own reaction. Pauses that stretched too long. Breathing that changed before the answer. Eyes that couldn't keep up with the words. Those small signals explain why he's sitting here, and which truth will eventually be placed right in front of him.